Hello, my name is Lauren, and today I have some really great information for you, and I have my notes here. Wanted to talk to you about Young Living and as a company, overall what that actually means, what they do, and how that can help people. So me, myself, I am a single mom. I've had different issues, wellness issues and such like that with my health for a while, and I would always look for more natural alternatives or holistic alternative solutions to feeling better. And so it was a really great fit when I found essential oils, but I didn't realize that all oils are not created equally. And that's a really huge thing, and I hear that a lot. So there's a lot of information out there, and it can be pretty confusing. And I became really passionate about not only essential oils, but about this company with Young Living. And so I really enjoy to share that information and to help educate people on that subject. So basically, I want you to think about this analogy during this presentation. Now, if you're flying a plane and your captain makes a slight deviation at some point, at first it may not seem like you've changed course at all, but by the time you go hundreds of thousands of miles, you'll be in an entirely different place. So that one slight deviation in your course can really significantly alter where you end up. So for me, Young Living was one of those deviations in my life. It took me a few times to having heard about it to where I finally was like, aha, and kind of got it and understood what it was about. It's really the cornerstone of a whole life, like wellness, not just this box of oils that you have. So basically, for me, it's about aligning myself with a company that has such high standards of integrity and so much history in the wellness community. So a lot of times, and some of you might have heard me share about this before, but I'm really sensitive to things in the environment like smells and things like that. And so just walking around down the aisle in the grocery store with all the detergents, or if there's fragrance candles or those plug-in air fresheners, I'll get asthma, I'll get headaches, perfumes, things like that. And that's becoming more common. There is actually a lot of articles from reputable sources you can look up if you want to learn more on that. But the point is, that's a big part of what kind of pushed me towards Young Living, was that it became a company that I can trust, to where I don't have to keep always reading the labels and, buying something and then it makes me sick, or finding out that it's not good for me. So even if these such artificial ingredients and fragrances and things aren't giving you notable problems like it does to me, they're still not good for you. It's been proven. So in any case, you can leave it right there, sweetheart, okay? Just leave it right there and I'll get it in a minute. So basically, some facts are Young Living. I want to start with the fact that our generation basically has a serious problem, and I totally get the busy mom life, and I was raised by a busy mom. I definitely have the best mom ever, but I think also as millennials, we were kind of raised on like prepackaged food. I know, like for myself, like boxed macaroni, Hot Pockets, Pop-Tarts, things like that. And so and also the generation behind us, millennials, 1 in 4 women will have some kind of severe hormonal-based disease, cancers, or dysfunctions or disorders of some kind. So that's 1 in 4 women. On top of that, talking about our kids, looking at the fact that, like when I was in school, you could bring chocolate chip and peanut butter cookies to class to share, and no one can do that anymore because every other kid is allergic to peanuts. They have eczema and allergies and asthma. How many of our parents or us are taking boxes of pills every single week, right? So that's a problem. There's tons and tons of these chronic issues, you guys. Over 6,500 hospitals in America. So we don't build hospitals because people are well. We build them because people are sick. So our culture is chronically sick. It is a severe problem, and that's why our culture has a problem. That's why I became passionate about this message, not only applying to myself and how this affects me, but also how it affects the people around me, how it affects the environment. So there's a lot more to this, and there's a lot of reasons why cancer can happen. So for example, we know that things like parabens are linked to cancer. So did you know what parabens are in? So women, go ahead and take a look, and men too as well, in your Bath and Body products. I guarantee that you're gonna have some parabens and some sulfate and so many other different chemicals that are put into our products that are not carbon molecule based. Now what that means, some more science on this for you guys. Carbon molecule based is it's from plants or animals or dirts or some other natural substance to this earth. So what happens is that there's all these chemicals that have been derived in labs, and they're synthetics, they're man-made. So when we put them in and on and around and rub them on our body, they're not carbon based, so our body can't use them or break them down. So when we spray them on, rub them on, lather them on, all that stuff, it's building up over and over again for 30 plus years, day plus day. That's building up in our body. Our bodies can't break it down. Did you know we put more toxins on our body in the first half hour of the day than our grandmothers and grandfathers did their entire lives? So I'm not just talking about Young Living right now, I'm talking about our culture. And I'm talking about with the problems with our products in our culture. Like I would think, let me walk into this store and I can buy this because the store is selling it to me. It must not be harmful, or it must be completely 100% safe. But if I actually start to go ahead and read the ingredients on the labels and where it says danger, I can Google dangers of and put in that ingredient. It's very mind-opening. So walking down the aisle in Walmart while the cleaners and things are, with my lungs starting to burn and my throat closing up, and that's a problem. And I'm definitely hearing more people talking about this happening to them. So listen, another issue is that our culture is completely asleep to this. People aren't aware of this. People aren't realizing that this is going on. And everybody is thinking that it's totally normal to go to the doctor for a checkup and they say, what medications are you on? Instead of like years ago where they would say, are you taking any medications? Now it's just become completely normal and acceptable that everyone is taking lots of medications and automatically assuming that, and that's because it's such a chronic problem in our society. So this doesn't solve the problem. Medicines are not the answer. They're not even really the primary problem. The primary problem is that we need to back up and we need to get to the root cause and say, why are people so sick? So I would wager that there's a lot of toxicity happening, toxicity in our minds, our language, and I don't mean curse words. I mean speaking death over ourselves, like negative self-talk. Also toxicity in our attitudes and all kinds of things. So there's a kind of toxicity in our products, everything that we put on from the time we were first born all the way until we die. And what I want to really engage in with this conversation today is that this is a serious issue. The first way to really solve a problem is to recognize that there is one. So I didn't know any of this, okay? I was using all kinds of these products. The air fresheners that you plug in, the kind that you spray in the air. I was using, these bright blue cream to shave my legs, and then I'd go to the store and buy the 3 for $10 fragranced lotions and put them on and get all the new smells each season, and didn't realize, over time I started developing headaches and stuff related to that, mood swings, migraines, joint pains, fatigue, food allergies. And so these chemicals are mimicking estrogens in those products. And I'm not criticizing anyone because I was there, you guys. I was there doing these same things. It's a matter of what I was going back to what I was saying before. Society is not aware of this. People don't realize this. So that's the whole point of why I try to get this information out there, because when people are aware, then they can make a choice. So when I was introduced to Young Living and I started using essential oils, I thought they were great. I felt like there's great reference material you can get so that you can use all the oils in hundreds of different ways that you're comfortable to use them. There's a lot of great reference on that. And this class right now is not to teach you on all the ways that you can use oils. What it is to teach you and hopefully to inspire you to wake up and to start thinking about every single thing that comes into your home, that you're putting onto your house, what you choose to purchase, what you're putting onto your body and your family, that's actually circulating through your bloodstream, reaching your vital organs. And it is a choice that if you don't know there's another way, you can't make a choice. So in essence, the choice has been entirely removed from you because society is asleep to this. So even though we don't think there's another option, we just think that we're living our lives and now all the products that we're using and just going about our day and not realizing that we're actually poisoning ourselves and our kids. I do mean that quite literally. What I want to do is encourage you to have the most basic element of humanity, which is that's your free will restored back to you. And that is you have a choice of what you're going to bring into your home, your own stamp of approval that you're going to put on things and go into you and your kids. Today, that can be that slight deviation that I was talking about for you. And today's the day that you can say, am I ready to have that change and make that choice? So that leads us to Young Living. And how does Young Living connect to all this? Young Living is an amazing company, and I think that there's so much more than you would probably realize to it, or that I can even get into in this video, that you may not even realize if you're not involved with the company or haven't heard about it. What they do for the environment, their warehouses are... Wait just a few minutes, okay? Because you just ate those, so drink your sippy, all right, sweetheart?
I drank it already.
Okay, well hold on, give me just a minute, all right? Their warehouses have gone to zero waste to the landfills, so they do a lot of great things like that where they're helping the environment with their industry. So when I was first starting and getting the oils, I was thinking these are cute little bottles and they're fun and they smell good, and now I can wear fragrance again and I can put them on my kids to help them go to bed, all these things, and really having no idea that this company would change my whole world. And here's what starts happening when you start using Young Living, okay? It's a very unique company. It's founded differently. It operates differently. The mission behind them are different, and they're much more passionate about purpose than profit. So I can give you tons of personal accounts and stories, and in fact, the only reason I'm even able to sit here and make this video, which anyone who knows me will know this is true, is because of how passionate I am and how much I believe in and trust this company. When I started looking at, I can use lavender oil in my home instead of this or that, or I can use peppermint oil instead of this or that, I started really engaging in natural remedies, which made me feel really empowered. But it also made me start to question, what else am I using? What else am I putting on? I started getting reference materials, looking up things all the time, these great pocket reference and oil books on how to use oils to take care of your pets, to take care of your babies. There's a ton of information in the community out there about that, which why I'm more drawn to that, and why would I intrinsically want to use something more natural. So it was just kind of like I was intrigued to use something more natural because I've kind of always been that way. I worked in an aquarium store when I was younger, and I remember trying to medicate the fish with garlic, juiced garlic, and it actually would work. So I've always been kind of prone to that, but when you start to really think about it and get into it and see how Young Living works, that's what started making me to say, what's in this product? What's in this cleaner? What's in my toothpaste? What's in my shampoo? What am I putting in my kids' room? The candles, which I love and I've replaced with diffusers, Basically, it's more like I was not just acting blindly out of habit anymore. I was starting to think and wake up to it and not be asleep, but recognize my choices, which gives me freedom. So that's what I'm trying to illustrate, and that's kind of a contagious thing, okay? So it's exciting, and it might sound really weird to you if you never actually realized that there's so many more choices out there, but once you recognize it and start to get a taste of that, it's really very empowering. And I love having this knowledge, and I love knowing that I'm actually putting something on my daughter, that I am truly thinking through that process and understanding what I'm doing, not just grabbing something off the shelf and applying it to myself or my family, actually knowing what that is and what the consequences are of that, whether they might be good or bad. So it might sound like this is really complicated, and it's not. It's a baby step process. It took me over a year to get totally chemical free into my house, but what it did was it inspired me to wake up in all these areas of my life. So every area. So just to think, to be a better problem solver, to be inspired about living a life of excellence, to listen to other people, to try and learn how to get over myself and share information that I think can be helpful with someone else. And Young Living makes excellence easy because they're amazing. And so if you want to live a life of excellence with enthusiasm and energy and drive and excitement, and not just have our cells completely suppressed because we have so many toxins in them all the time that they can't breathe and they can't function and they can't operate the way that they're supposed to. And then you realize, wow, I'm lifting that net of oppression off my body, and I actually feel amazing. And I feel energized, and I feel excited, and it raises your entire level. Like you can be vibrating at a whole upper level frequency because of that. And again, there is so much science behind this if you start to dig into it, and a lot of great people who are willing to just share that information freely. Your playing field goes from down here to totally uninspired and just wanting to sit around to feeling very happy and engaged and enthusiastic and wanting to participate in your life. So when you get rid of all the junk and you add things that your body loves to work with, like essential oils and supplements, everything that your body is, people are like, I don't get it. Like your body is crying out for these things. So your body actually wants to use these things and work with these things. So people are thinking they don't get it. You want me to get this box of essential oils to live my best life? And I'm like, yes, yes, exactly. That's okay. There's a gap. What am I missing there, right? There's a learning curve. Well, what you're missing is that this mindset is that it's about you saying that you're no longer going to be asleep. You're going to be completely awakened and seek the truth in every area of your life. And you're not just going to be fed whatever the media and mass marketing and news and all these things that feed me, just to start questioning things. And I don't mean being cynical. I don't mean question it and be in a bad mood. I just mean honestly start thinking about stuff. So honestly, if you start using Young Living, it can help you to be in a good mood just from using the products. And not only are you questioning things in a healthy and honorable, intelligent way, what you're doing, but you're starting to realize that there's a creative energy in you that's totally untapped. There is more untapped potential energy in a person, in a human, than any other force, any other element on the entire planet. Humans, so they have the most untapped potential energy in the world, which is amazing. I fully believe that we can have every good thing that we desire, and every good thing, and that means that you're not unintentionally depressing yourself, your children, and your family, that you're in charge of with the products that you use, and it is that important. It does matter, and I'm not being melodramatic here. There's truth to this, and so you can Google all of this. You can Google these things, Google your ingredients, look up this information, look up what you're using in your house, and you'll see that this is absolute, this is out there. So I love Young Living because I can align myself with a company that cares just about the integrity of their products as I do. They are the catalyst for it. They're the slight deviation of change that's going to change the rest of your life, with the airplane analogy that I mentioned in the beginning. I trust them because they're the reason I started to care, because they care so much. They're the reason that I started to examine all of these ingredients even closer, and because they look at every single ingredient. And I'm talking about hundreds of products, every room in your house, every person in your family, your newborn baby or your grandma who's 102. Young Living has products for everything, for kids, for household cleaning, for personal care, for pets, for all kinds of stuff. It's not just about essential oils. So these products love working with your cells, and your cells love working with natural products. Facial scrub, toothpaste. I don't get fluoride in my toothpaste. You can look that up too. So the practices we have in our country are completely stripping our food of almost all the natural nutrients and minerals and things that we need, and healing heavily processed on top of ourselves. So it's like we're eating cardboard a lot of the time, and that's not healing ourselves. So if you think of your body like a car that needs fuel to run, you think about what you need to put in your body. And on top of that, even if you're eating organic, you need supplements, because now your cells are hungry. So if you want to feel awesome and look your best and think with clarity, for your body's 12 major systems, you want them all to function well, then you need to be supplementing properly what you're eating. Young Living also has supplements on top of everything else. They are a cornerstone piece of a 100-piece wellness puzzle. And if you want to have wellness in every area of your life and your body and your mind and your heart and all of those things, it's an amazing company to be a part of. Now, if you're wondering and you're thinking, okay, that's it, I'm in. Basically, how do I get started? There's a few starter kits that Young Living has. Most people get started with the essential oils and the diffuser. You just put water in it. It's kind of like a cool mist humidifier with oils in the air, kind of like that. A ton of people start with that one. It's $165 with the 12 oils and the diffuser and a bunch of other samples. There's also an all-natural makeup line for $150. There's different kits for different types of budgets, and whichever kit that you get a membership, which is essentially like a Costco card, like your membership. You get their wholesale discount for everything else for 24% off. As long as you spend $50 a year, your membership is active, and that is very simple. So personally, I order through Essential Rewards, which is a monthly subscription box. That's what I do, because if you're actually going to make a real change in your family, which is ordering on a regular basis, you'll get tons of free stuff. Helps you try free things that you may not have thought to get, and then you get rewards points back that you can use to trade in for more free things too. So you absolutely need to get a membership, grab a starter kit, or everything that I just said is irrelevant. So it's good to look into stuff like that, but if you're not actually going to take an action on it, Young Living is a hands down superior and far best company. It's not just Whole Foods catching the big everybody type Be Rich line or something like Country when Country wasn't cool. They were doing this 25 to 35 years ago before anyone else. Gary Young was actually working as a wellness products long before Young Living was even established in 1994. So they check every ingredient. They do not leave any stone unturned. They are militant about not cutting corners and understanding that not one non-carbon based molecule in your body is going to break down, and therefore they're not going to put them in their products. So carbon based, that's what we talked about, breaks down and will decompose. So you should jump on Essential Rewards to make a real change, and you can take baby steps towards that. There's a Thieves line with starter kits for all the Thieves cleaning products. Once you have a membership, you can log in and get whatever you want whenever you want to. Thank you for spending this time with me. I have so much more that I could share on this. I definitely just wanted to get into the cornerstone about what the company is. And again, I really thank you for your time. That's one of our most precious resources. I hope that you found this informative. And as always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great weekend.